A city council member is suing the city over the Proposition 1 election.
You made the choice on city rules for ride-sharing companies on May the 7th. But Councilmember ZImmerman says the ballot language was confusing and you, the voter, may not have been properly informed. We heard similar concerns from some voters before the election, which is why we aired several reports clarifying the issue in the weeks leading up to the vote. We use this graphic to show you that a for vote would leave rules as they were. A vote against would require drivers get fingerprint background checks.
Not only that, we told you that for supported Uber and Lyft's position, while against would support the city council's new ordinance. Councilmember ZImmerman wants the results of the Proposition 1 election voided. Today, I spoke with him about his lawsuit at his Northwest Austin office.
This whole thing presumably was about fingerprints, but now we have competitors to Uber and Lyft who are operating and growing and gaining market share, and they're not in compliance with the ordinance that drove out the TNCs. That all makes it very misleading. But more than that, I argued from the beginning that ballot language should have been deliberated in open session instead of behind closed doors.
And that's the point of this, so that never happens again?
That is the main point. We need to stop doing these deliberations on ballot language behind closed doors, because that's the way that the council majority can defeat the will of petitioners.
What exactly about the ballot language do you feel like was confusing and misleading?
If you look at the way the ballot language was written, it says, are you going to, you would repeal this and repeal this and repeal this. It was all cast very negatively. The ballot language failed to say that the city was going to reap a 1% fee, which amounts to about $1 million. So that's of great benefit to the city and the people to pay for things we might need regarding transportation or rideshare. That was omitted, but all the negative things were put in.
Can you talk to me a little bit about who is funding this lawsuit, how it's being paid for?
I'm funding this out of a special litigation fund that I have, and we're on a very small budget. We have not spent a lot of money on this.
Does it bother you at all that you're sort of going against what the people in your district voted for?
It's a fair question, but I have to say this. Every single person I talked to, every one of my constituents, whether they were for or against the TNCs, every one of them said they were confused by the ballot language.
And Mayor Steve Adler says he's confident the ballot is legal. He says this is the second lawsuit filed over this language.
You know, I think that council members are citizens too, and they have a right to take something to court if they want to. He's exercised that right, and now I think the court will decide, and I'm confident about what the result's going to be.
Mayor Adler says more than 1,000 drivers have completed fingerprinting with being used by companies operating in Austin.